Sup Squares, welcome to my final ranking video. I just previously, last 15 episodes, I ranked every single video game I've ever played. This is the last episode where I'm ranking my top 10 games. I've known my top 10 probably for about 3 years now. My top 10 just got recently updated in the last few years. As you can see, Paper Mario number 11 got bumped off. It used to be number 10, but it got bumped off by a game that's in the top 10. So yeah, this top 10 is set in stone. There's no gut check here. This is going to be more of a long form video. I'm giving every single game its time in the sun. So without further ado, at number 10, we have the original Half-Life. So if you have not played Half-Life before, I'm not going to break down the entire game completely, like story and everything. But actually, I might. So, as far as story is concerned, you just graduated college with a PhD in theoretical physics. I can't remember exactly what his Gordon Freeman's character you're playing is. I can't remember the exact title. I think it's like theoretical physicist or something like that. Anyway, it's your first day on the job, and you arrive to work late, and the open sequence you say hi to all the your coworkers, all the security guards, and other scientists, and you work for you got hired by a company called Black Mesa, which is a secret government corporation, I guess, or company. You do science experiments and science. You're a secret science facility owned by the government. So when you arrive late to work, they ask you to hurry ahead to the testing chamber where they're testing out they're trying to make portals, essentially. Portal, from here to there. And the test goes awry when you're in the test chamber, and you accidentally end up creating a portal to a planet, an alien planet, hostile alien planet. And what happens is those aliens end up essentially attacking the facility, and the government finds out that this has happened, and they essentially send the military in to kill everybody who's involved in it. Kill absolutely everybody. Scientists, guards, the aliens, everybody. Kill everybody on site, so it doesn't get out that this is what happened to the public. And as Gordon Freeman, your goal is to work your way out of the facility, fighting the army, and aliens. So, fantastic story. Great boss fights. Very creative boss fights too. I won't get that. I would highly recommend you play Half-Life if you've never played it before. So as far as gameplay is concerned, Half-Life is first-person shooter, but I would say it's like a first-person action-adventure puzzle game. So kind of like, let's say, Zelda with guns, essentially. Especially what it is. Zelda with guns is the best way I can describe Half-Life. If you like Zelda, you like guns, you'll like Half-Life. Trust me, it's a fantastic game. And it holds my number 10 spot on the list. At number 9, we have Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Okay, so obviously Red, Blue, and Yellow, basically all the same game. That's why I put them just in one spot. There's no point in separating them into 3 separate slots. I mean, at that point, it's just basically what color do you like better. And the Yellow is a little different. It has all the Pokemon included, so it's basically the better version of Red and Blue. But again, it's just they're all the same games. So I'm gonna use an argument for this game. I should cover the next game. It's the same type of argument I'm going to make. So I've not played every single Pokemon game in the series. I've played Gen 1 multiple times. Red, Blue, and Yellow, Let's Go. I've not played Fire Red, Leaf Green. I've never played the JoJo games. The only Hoenn games I've played Gen 3 were ORAS, Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, for short, or ORAS. And I didn't play Gen 4 until like recently when I played Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. So I skipped the original games. Well, not skip, but I just didn't get to play them because of just the way my upbringing was. I'll explain that here in a moment. And then when I was finally old enough, when I was in college, when I got my first job when I was a teenager in high school, I was finally able to buy my first 3DS. So I was able to play X and Y, everything on 3DS going forward. So obviously I didn't play Black or White or Black or White 2. I was able to play that generation as well. When I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, so I still don't have a lot of money. Anyway, my parents didn't want to buy me a Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or DS because they didn't want me playing video games on the road or away from home. Video games were to stay at home, and that's where they stay. You know, you don't want to be going out and playing video games everywhere you go. That was their argument, but again, by the time I was an adult, not an older teenager, having my own job with my own responsibilities, I was able to go ahead and just get it myself. You know, get my own 3DS, buy my own games. So, with that in mind, I got my 3DS, I got X and Y, I got Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, that's when I got like really into the Pokemon series, like really hard. And then I want to go back and play the original games because one, I was missing some Pokemon Bank had come out for 3DS, and they had released the original 3 games, Red, Blue, and Yellow for 3DS. So I bought all 3 games, Red, Blue, and Yellow, and when I subscribed to Pokemon Bank, so I could take whatever Pokemon I caught in those games and move them forward. So I was attempting to do a Liberty Deck switch. I did recently complete my Liberty Decks, but lost my Switch a few years ago and lost a lot of Pokemon that I had to complete my Liberty Decks. But otherwise, anyway, just getting sidetracked. So with Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, I played them after I played the most recent games at that time. X and Y, ORAS, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon. And just as like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, I don't have nostalgia for Red and Blue. I never played them as growing up. I was born in '94. I had plenty of time between now and when things were popular to get a Game Boy and buy the games and play them. I never got that opportunity. It wasn't until after I got my 3DS, I finally experienced Red, Blue, and Yellow, and every other game I played after that is just, they're good Pokemon games, don't get me wrong. It's just, for some reason, Red, Blue, and Yellow just they stuck more. I don't know if it's because I like I just may have a slight bias towards just the designs of Generation 1, because I grew up with Generation, 2, 3, like, I'd say Generation 1, 2, and 3 were kind of my, I didn't play the games, but I kind of paid attention to what Pokemon were coming out, and I played Pokemon Coliseum and XD, so, for my GameCube, so I'd have a little bit of taste of Gen 2 and 3, but ever since I've known Pokemon, I just always had like a bias toward the designs of Red, Blue, and Yellow, or the Gen 1 games, or just Gen 1 Pokemon in general. That's not to say I don't like any of the new Pokemon. I actually, I will be releasing a top 10 Pokemon at some point on my channel, and I got a good amount of newer Pokemon. I don't think I have like a few Pokemon in my top 10 that are Gen 1. So I'm collecting all the Pokemon. I like all the Pokemon. It's just I prefer the designs of the original games. That might be a big reason. But I just don't know. Like when I got back to play Red, Blue, and Yellow, I haven't played it in a while, but I don't know. I know the mechanics are archaic and stuff like that in Red, Blue, and Yellow, but just these games are great. Like I don't know how to else to explain it. Like it's just the game has just good pacing. At least I think it does. I mean, again, I haven't played the games in a while, so I don't know if there's any like sticking points, which I don't think there is. Like where the game just slows down to a crawl or it's not fun. You're constantly getting into battles, whether it's between the gyms and the routes. Yeah, there's always something going on. There's always something to do. There's no like dead, boring periods in the game that I can think of. And it's a simple story. Grow up in Pallet Town. You're on to a Pokemon journey. Go beat all 8 gyms and go beat Pokemon League. And then capture those Pokemon. Including Mewtwo and Legendaries. I mean, it's a very simple game, but it's so effective. Like, I just don't think any of the newer Pokemon games have kind of hit that mark with Red, Blue, and Yellow. Red, Blue, and Yellow, the next Pokemon game I have on here is Arceus. You want to talk about mainline games? Pokemon Oras, all the way down 32. I mean, that's a chasm between Red, Blue, and Yellow and Oras. I mean, it's a chasm. I think I've given up my own personal explanation. Again, this is my personal list. So I mean, you're allowed to disagree with me if you want. If you think, again, Black and White are better, just keep in mind I've never played the games, so I can't have that opinion. So, I mean, just for example, Aura is just a simple example. I've already brought it up just now. Auras are great games. Don't get me wrong. 32 out of 150 games. That's pretty darn good. It's just, I feel like some of the maybe some of the routes are longer and more tedious. I mean, there could be maybe there's some parts in here I'm thinking about now. I know that long bridge section between Lavender and the cycling road is pretty annoying to navigate. It's pretty long with not a lot of trainers. But either way, I feel that's just a drop. That's just a drop in the game. A place you're really never going to explore again when you learn all the routes. That whole part of the world besides Snorlax just kind of gets just shallow to sight. You never even see it again, including the caves. I mean, after you beat the game, you're trying to catch a Pokemon. I mean, yeah, the caves are important because some Pokemon are housed in there, but that little section of that that's kind of forgettable, you're never really going to see again. So, I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You cross it once and you're done with it. But, Yeah, or as X and Y, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, Sun Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. You know, those are all, by all accounts, should be better games. Just the graphics alone. I much prefer Red, Blue, and Yellow. I don't know. Again, the only thing I could possibly think that's really drawn me towards this game more is this nostalgia factor again. And again, if that's really the main reason, subconsciously, then so be it. I'm okay with that. It's my list. I think Red, Blue, and Yellow are one of the top 10 best games of all time. All those other Pokemon games falling slightly short. At number 8, we have Pokemon Scarlet Violet. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, basically kind of using the same argument as the last games. Scarlet and Violet I've not played all the Pokemon games in the series. So I can't say Black and White better because I never played them. Or I've never played any of the Johto games. Gen 2, so I can't say they're better. I've never played them, so I don't have an opinion. But I'm also going to make an argument for this game because I know some people, obviously have mixed feelings on this game because of the performance. The game was great as far as story and, the open world. But on the graphics front, on the performance front, it was received very poorly. To me, I played the game myself. I saw the poor performance. I did. But for me, I'm a different cat. Okay, not to use a funny old term, but I'm a different cat. And when it comes to video games, I'm playing a video game. I didn't come to play a video game for realism. Okay? When I go play Breath of the Wild on Switch, and I walk into the Lost Woods where the frame rate chugs a little bit because it's struggling, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't take me out of the experience. It's a video game. It's not real. It's not real life. I've already had that preconception in my head that I'm playing a video game. This is not meant to be real or realistic. So all these little bugs and whatever else, or slowdowns or frame rate drops, they don't bother me at all. So when I'm playing Scarlet and Violet and I see the kids in the classroom kicking the legs around like robots at 5 frames a second, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I'm reading the text and I'm reading the story. I'm reading what the teacher is saying. I don't care. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. So I understand the argument that you pay $6 for the game and you're pay $6 for the game, so you should expect a premium product. But did you get your $60 out of it? Did you play the whole game? Okay, then you got your $60 out of it, regardless whether it was good performance or not. If you played the game, you were able to get through the issues I had, which, again, for me, the issues weren't damning. It did make the game unplayable. I can understand if you played, a video game that was, literally 5 frames a second every single time you played the game. Every single part of the game was 5 frames, where it was just a constant chug, 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 chug the entire time. It wasn't like that with Scarlet Violet. It's here and there. I'm pretty sure there's frame drops I'm not catching, but the game is absolutely playable. It's not in an unplayable state for me. You can get to point A to point B without much issue. A frame drop here and there, it's not that big of a deal. It doesn't take me out of the experience. I know I'm playing a video game. I'm not looking for realism. If the game chugs a little bit, whatever. I don't care. Skyrim with all its glitches and bugs. I think it's just more of a feature. When I see those kids like this, a robot in the classroom, I think it's funny. If anything else, it's funny to me. I think it's just, to me, it's a feature. It's funny. It'll be nice to play the games on Switch 2 when I finally get one, and play it smooth, buttery 60 frames a second. But it doesn't affect my enjoyment of the game either way. It'll be nice, cool, but it doesn't affect my enjoyment of the game. So, for me, when it comes to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I'm completely removing the performance issues. It doesn't bother me. I played the game from start to finish multiple times. The performance does not bother me one iota. So, if you take away the performance issues, you're left with the best Pokemon game they've ever made. Period. This is what we've been waiting for Pokemon to be. It's an open world, and just go out to the world and catch Pokemon. Yes, your Pokemon could be like a little more natural. We'll get there at some point, but this is a great stepping stone to that point, where we can play games like Pokemon, but like, let's say Pokemon, but like Monster Hunter. Or even like, yeah, kind of like Monster Hunter, like, it's graphically better, like Monster World. Monster Hunter, excuse me. And you like engage Pokemon in the battle, kind of like even Pokemon Legends ZA is not out yet, but we see in the battle system, your Pokemon move around in the battle. Like, we're getting there. Like, this ZA is going to be another stepping stone to hopefully we'll get to the point where Pokemon can just be, almost free. Like, they're not stuck in a pattern or standing there, turning around looking at you, or, they're more natural. This Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was a great stepping stone towards that. And in doing that, it became the best Pokemon game in my opinion. So and then when you tack on the story, like, you can go on YouTube right now and look up people who have reacted to Professor being dead in the game. Like, there was breadcrumbs if you paid attention. Like, you could tell something was wrong with the Professor. Like, he was acting very inhuman and just not emotional at all. Like, he was almost like a robot, which he was at the end of the story, at the end of the game. But with Arven saying, they only cared about the research, not me, and then the Professor acting like that, it really seemed like the Professor really didn't care. The Professor was a douchebag, for all intents and purposes. Which that turned out at the end of the game, he kind of was, which basically he could have destroyed all Paldea if he wasn't stopped. But either way, I mean, he was stopped, but the AI couldn't shut it down on his own. That's why he summoned you. But either way, the story alone is fantastic. Like, very adult storytelling for a kid's game. Like, it's very rare you see Pokemon introduce somebody actually dead or dying in the game. Like, it's very good. And just Arven, him alone, he is the best three-dimensional character you've ever made. He goes from being just like this hard, cold-hearted punk, and then you get the story about his, doing the Titan story, and find out he's actually somewhat of a softie, especially for his Pokemon. Which, I mean, he kind of, there's a reason behind that, because that's he didn't have his parents. The only thing he had was his Pokemon to bond with. So that bonding made sense in that case. His parents weren't there, so he had his Pokemon there to keep him company. That's why it seems to get a strong attachment to them. Obviously, the boss stuff. And for those that's watching this, the boss stuff is one of the Pokemon game is like a big, giant, like, dog. I mean, he's shorter than a human. He's a regular sized dog, but he's like a big dog. But so it's kind of like a dog human story almost. But man's best friend story, in a way. But all that he becomes a softie, and then like the professor is his parents. The professor is his parents, mom or dad, depending on what game you're playing. And to find out the reason his parents have ignored him, his mom or dad, because they were dead. And him thinking that he was speaking to his mom and dad the entire time, it was just an AI. And the AI obviously doesn't show emotion or anything because it's an AI, it's a robot. So it's just acting as if a robot would. And at the end of the day, for Arvin to find out that all that out, it's just like, and then he gets to see his AI parent for like what, a minute or two before it goes into the future. Like, you probably haven't seen your parent in a long time, and the moment you get to see even a robot of them, at least a glimpse, and they just leave. Like, from hard to very, very soft, and unfortunately had a soul crushed. Like, that little snippet at the end where they're like walking back to Mesagosa or walking home, and they're like, "Come on, let's take the long way." I'm like, dude, Arvin just literally had his heart shattered. Like, he ain't feeling nothing but pain right now. He doesn't want to take the long way home. He just wants to walk in silence. Leave him be. Let him mourn a little bit. But yeah, the story, the Team Star story was fine. It was a nice story of bullies, people being bullied, basically turning into the bullies. I could take it or leave it. It was fine. It didn't hurt the story. And then obviously just regular, go to A gyms and beat the champion. And then the DLC on top of that was great. Kieran was also really good. Sort of. It was a good character development for him, but at the same time, it was kind of like there's some loopholes you can poke into the character building of Kieran. A lot of it didn't. A lot of it felt forced. It was still good though. It was still good regardless. But like, if you're not paying attention to like loopholes and stuff you can find, it's really good character development. But the DLC on top of that. Pokemon Scarlet Violet, bar none, best Pokemon game ever. Yet. So, yeah. Number 8, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Again, you can disagree with me if you want, but my opinion, my list. So, number 7, we have Portal 2. Okay. So, first off, funniest game I've ever played. That's first thing that needs to be said. Funniest game I've ever played. It's just so well written. With the twist at the middle of the game with Wheatley and GLaDOS. Wheatley is absolutely one of the funniest characters ever made in video games. He's just hilarious. He's a dumb scientist per se, but he's a core. He's just a robot. But just there's some points in the game, like most games, you don't want to sit there and just do nothing and listen. But in Portal 2, I highly recommend, like, whenever you're around Wheatley, just wait a minute, let him finish saying everything he wants to say in some aspects. If he's still talking in the background, just go back and finish listening to talk. He goes on tangents and stuff. He's hilarious. So is GLaDOS. But GLaDOS has always been funny since Portal 1, so being the main antagonist. But then Wheatley becomes the main antagonist in 2, so then you and GLaDOS end up working together. It's a nice twist to the story. Um, but just, I mean, the gameplay alone too, I mean, it's fantastic. It's simple, effective, and can be difficult at times. I know this, like, especially near the end of Portal 2, there were some puzzles that got me frazzled. But I mean, there's really not much to say about this game. Like, the world building is great too with Cave Johnson and just the environmental storytelling. Again, this game is very simple. I can't, I like Pokemon and stuff like that. This might be the shortest game I have to explain on this list because it's a very simple game, but it's a puzzle game with a big story behind it. Like, at this point, I would just be. I mean, you kind of spoiled the biggest part of the game already if you haven't played it, but. Oh well, if you haven't played Portal 2 by now, go play it. Seriously. I mean, all the games are top 10. You need to go play. But anyway, yeah, I mean, the gameplay, the new mechanics added, like with the gels and stuff that weren't in Portal 1. The humor is top notch in video games. It's a fantastic puzzle shooter. I mean, there's nothing much to say about it besides that. At number 6, we have The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. Okay. So what can be said about Skyrim that hasn't already been said? I mean, it's a culture phenomenon for a while, pop culture-wise anyway. Culture phenomenon, pop culture, same thing. I got to the point in Skyrim where I did literally everything, including DLC, the game had to offer besides 3P quests, like Vampire Quests, Dawnguard, the companions, reading quests, bounties and stuff like that. I did everything, absolutely everything the game had to offer. And it's obviously it's my top 10, one of the best RPGs I've ever played. Though granted, I've not played a lot of action RPGs anyway, so this was the only Elder Scrolls game I played when Skyrim came out. I never played Oblivion. I still never played any of the other games. Seriously, anyway. I played Oblivion like a little bit, but that was it. Like literally, like a little bit, like beginning of the game, and then that was it. Once. So Elder Scrolls V was the only exposure I had to the Elder Scrolls world. I played a little bit of online, but that's different. Obviously, being it's an online game. I got really interested in the lore. I actually went on YouTube videos, start digging into Skyrim's lore, stuff like that. Elder Scrolls lore, excuse me. The combat was great. I mean, I saw people say it was so basic, but I mean, it did its job. I mean, what's wrong with basic? As long as basic's done right, it's fine. I mean, they made it basic so a lot of people could play it. Look how popular it got. I mean, if the battle system was really that much of an issue, it wouldn't have got popular, right? So, it's been ported 20 million times. I mean, again, kind of like Portal 2, there's really not much to say about it. Story is great, gameplay is great. The dungeon crawling and the puzzles and the battles and stuff. Great game, amazing. And in fact, I did almost everything in the game. I did everything in the game at one point that I could do. Should say enough. Okay, so now we're finally in our top 5. Number 5 is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Okay, so first off, I don't have an opinion on Tears of the Kingdom because I've never played it. So That's why it's not on this list. Like any other game that you might think is in your head, it should be on this list that I've not played. So, c'est la vie. Anyway, so Zelda Breath of the Wild, number 5. I'm trying to figure out where to start because, when I first got this game, when it first came out, when I got my Switch back in 17, like, I was addicted to this game. I never did everything 100%. I never, like, unfortunately, because I was trying to do absolutely everything before I beat Ganondorf. I never got around to it. I own the game digitally, so I can play it whenever I want to. I'm trying to play a lot of other games, do videos for my channel, so I just haven't got around to it. But it is so easy to get lost in this game for just you play for 5 minutes. You think, and it's like 2 hours have gone by. Like, the gameplay in this is just fantastic. Like, just all the mechanics and stuff, like, that caught you off guard. Just all the realistic stuff they play with, like, lightning hitting metal and actually lighting fires in the grass, like wind blowing fires. It's just simple stuff. And then just the exploration. Like, anywhere you walk in the game, there's just something to do, something to see. All this wide open space in the game. And they filled it. They did. They filled it as best they can. Honestly, there's some parts in the world where there's nothing to do. It's mainly there for scenery. Which is fine. I mean, you're on a journey, you're on an adventure. So it should be. I feel like there should be some semblance of, I'm alone, there's nothing here to do, let me get to my next destination. I feel like that's normal. It should be normal in adventure games. It gives you that sense you're actually on an actual adventure. There will be downtime to enjoy the scenery. Smell the roses, And the only weak part of this game that I can say poke holes in were the Divine Beasts. I did not like the Divine Beasts dungeons. You don't call them that. Too short. And just, boring, honestly. Like, they're not very exciting to go through. I've played Zelda games on here, obviously, it's at number 5. And they had better dungeons. Majora's Mask, at number 15, had better dungeons than Breath of the Wild. In a Zelda game, it should be a perfect mixture of exploration, dungeons, story, and just basic gameplay. And unfortunately, those 4 pillars, Breath of the Wild, fall short. I'll say story because it's very simple as a story. But it's Zelda, it doesn't need to be complicated. So it's fine there. That pillar still stands on all. The story is third leg. It's the fourth leg on a chair that's missing a screw. Or the screw's half. One screw. There's 2 screws in it holding together. There's 1 screw that's half out. You can still sit it. It's fine. It doesn't hurt the game out of it anyway. But the just the dungeons. Obviously with the shrines, they do a great job of kind of like, I guess, fixing, air quotes, or filling in what the 4 main dungeons couldn't do. Or didn't do successfully anyway, what they were trying to do. But it's just, that part of the game kind of falls really flat for me. In any video game you love or play, there's always going to be, when you play this game second time around, there's always going to be that 1 or 2 parts like, oh, I gotta do this again. When I was playing Breath of the Wild initially, for the first time, I did not enjoy the Divine Beasts. I thought they were kind of basic and lame, honestly. But, that's really the only hole I could poke in the game. So, otherwise, fantastic Zelda game. easily get drawn into and just get enraptured in the exploration. Okay, at number 4, we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Okay, so for Ultimate, number 1, character roster alone makes it a better game than all the other Smash Bros. Games. I'm sorry, more options is better. Variety, spice of life. And if you're playing casually, not competitively, which I do, I play casually. Okay, I could probably get in a competitive match and maybe hold my own, but for the most part, I'm a lot more of a casual player when it comes to Smash Bros. Ultimate. Or just Smash in general. So, all the characters are, all 89 characters, I think, are very well balanced. Like, that's like unheard of in a fighting game to have almost every single character in a casual setting to be balanced. But yeah, back to the character roster, just like 89 characters in a fighting game, that's insane. And just the third party, like Sora, Cloud, Sephiroth, just those 3 characters alone, Joker even, including, I never played Persona. But that's huge for Smash Brothers. And just, like, the unlimited possibilities and all the stages, items, assist trophies, just so much video game love and acknowledgement in this beautifully wrapped video game. It's the only negative I can say about this game was World Light was great. It was fantastic. But the event style matches they had to do over and over and over again, they kind of wear on me sometimes. Like, I'll get to like 10 battles and okay, I just want to break from this. So at times it was jarring, I guess, with all the event style battles going on in World of Light, the main story. But it was still great though. Even so. Again, including the spirits too in this, like 1,500 spirits across many video games. Like, honestly, there's some like larger missions out there just because of copyright and stuff, but like, Sakurai did the best he could with what he had. And he got a lot in Smash Ultimate. Stages, music on top of that as well. Just so much representation of the video game industry as a whole. Just video games. It's a crowning achievement in just gaming in general. That's unfortunately probably never going to happen again, so I would hold on to this game if I were you. It's going to be very prized position in the future. I'll definitely hold on to my copy for years to come. Alright. At number 3, we have Half-Life 2. Okay, so Half-Life 2 is also including the episodes 1 and 2. I'm including episodes, it's one whole game. So, Half-Life 2 used to be number 2 until they decided not to make a 3 and leave us on that cliffhanger at the end of the game. Again, I won't spoil anything as far as that's concerned, but big twist at the end of of Half-Life 2 episode 2. Because of that, I knocked it down a notch. 2. But I mean, Half-Life 2 is almost the same as Half-Life at number 10, but like, I got obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces better. Like, obviously you're out of Black Mesa now. It's not just, in a facility. You're in a city, essentially, City 17. So, as far as stories concerned, I'll try to keep it basic. Half-Life 2, you essentially escape Black Mesa in Half-Life 1. And essentially in Half-Life 2, you are tasked with essentially trying to eliminate the not eliminate, but like essentially quell the alien race that took over Earth. And essentially in Half-Life 1, the alien race eventually took over. So in Half-Life 2, you're like in a part where they have taken over, and your job is kind of like, to help the revolution to overthrow the alien government, essentially. Then that's what it kind of boils down to. There's a lot more in-depth storytelling and backstabbing and stuff like that happening in the game. But anyway, that's the story. So again, it's an amazing video game story. For one, building off the first game. And then just the gameplay is amazing. Like, you get the gravity gun, it's not a gun, pew pew, but it lets you pick up random objects in the game and toss them like if they're a giant bullet. Like, pick up a desk and throw it, pick up a chair and throw it, pick up a giant muffler off a car, throw it, heavy objects. It becomes basically your strongest weapon in the game almost. You don't need any bullets to. I mean, I think at some point you probably do, but like most of the game, you don't need any guns to beat the game. Unless some parts where like you can't use the gravity gun at all. Now, obviously guns are necessary. Beginning of the part of the game, you don't get the gravity gun until like I'll say like quarter way through the first part of the game, Half-Life 2. But when you get it, it's just a revelation. And then you go through Ravenholm. It helps you to like hone your skills on using the gravity gun, so you become proficient with it. And in some cases, this is your best weapon. Look around, look in your environment, see what you can use to defend yourself. The character development in this game, again, back onto the story part of it, it's an amazing story. Great character building moments. Real sci-fi in action, honestly. I mean, I'm not a sci-fi guy, but this is sci-fi at its peak in my opinion. Half-Life 2. Okay, at number 2, we have Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Okay, so first off, the story for a Mario game is flat out amazing. Like, you're not going to find a better story in a Mario game than Paper Mario. It's just... I mean, some of the stuff is spelled out to you sort of throughout the game before you even get to the end. Just that kind of breadcrumb thing. But when you find out that, again, if you haven't played the game, go play it. I'm trying not to spoil it too much, but some good, amazing twists and turns in this game. Storytelling, fourth wall stuff. I do struggle to see if this game is funnier than Portal 2, because I did say Portal 2 is the funniest game I ever played. Thousand Door is pretty darn close to it. This game kind of makes you forget there's no voice acting. You wish there was, but at points you feel like it doesn't need it. Like, these do so well at the localization with some of the characters. Like, you can hear them in your head how they would actually sound if they would actually talk. The writing in this game is fantastic. It's literally top notch. And the gameplay too is just, it's bar none. Like, it's simple turn-based RPG, but it's so well. You incorporate the audience into the game. It's kind of like a play, so the audience helps you but hurts you at the same time. Sometimes the stage helps you, also hurts you sometimes, like that random element. And it's, again, simple, but so darn effective. You take turns hitting each other. There's just more nuance to it, especially with your party members. All the party members are memorable. For their own reasons, because they usually give more backstory for most of them, to give them more context into why they exist in this world. But Thousand Door, it's one of the this and number one are games I wish I could just play blind again, because they're so freaking amazing. The humor, the gameplay, and even exploration, finding, helpful badges and stuff like that. And the game's not really there for you. There is exploration, but very little. Find little secrets, essentially, like in the regular Mario game, finding secrets. This game from top to bottom is just perfection. The only tiny knock on this game is I'm not a huge fan of all the talking at the beginning. There's a lot of talking. They're trying to get you into the game. But again, the writing is so well done, I don't mind it too much. So it's basically it's a neutral problem. It's too much talking, but the game's written so well it doesn't really matter as much. Thousand Door top to bottom is a fantastic game, and on top of that, it's a pretty long game too. So, for a Mario game, so get your money's worth. All right. At number one, there's a reason this game has a gold box art. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Okay, so you might be wondering, why do I think this game is better than the newer Breath of the Wild? And there was a time I thought it was, until the rose-colored glasses came off, and I looked at both games objectively. And just Ocarina of Time is it's a more complete game. Again, there's that 4-pillar example I used, 4 legs of a Zelda game: gameplay, exploration, combat, and dungeons. Puzzles, dungeons, whatever, that one leg. Ocarina of Time blows Breath of the Wild's dungeons out of the water. It's not even close. As for the water temple argument, when you play any video game for the first time, there's no, oh, I hate this part, because you never played that part yet. When you play Zelda Ocarina of Time for the first time, you don't think of water temple as a bad temple. Until you play it multiple times, like, oh, I don't have to do this temple again, because it is annoying with the water raising, but you don't think of any of that when you're playing the game for the first time. At least I did. I mean, just a simple look on Metacritic. 2 seconds. Google it. Ocarina of Time stands alone at 99 by itself. Next game, second place is 98. I'm not the only one who thinks Ocarina of Time is still the best video game that's ever been made. The storytelling is basic on the surface, but there's an entire storytelling lore iceberg underneath Ocarina of Time. Just YouTube it. YouTube a Ocarina of Time lore dive. Like, not even just lore, just storytelling too. Like, there's so many different themes in one game. So many lessons, so many adult themes to be learned. You know, doing something, taking care of something that wasn't your responsibility, but you're the only one who can do it. You know, that's being an adult. I mean, there's things you have to do you don't like to do, but you have to take the responsibility to do it anyway. It's, you know, Link was thrust in this problem that he didn't create. No, there's so many just deep storytelling and lessons to be learned in this game if you look for them. Again, that's the storytelling leg. Combat leg. Ocarina of Time's combat is like followed by games now, Dark Souls, you know, in whatever game that's in that style. Like, they took a lot of lessons from Ocarina of Time because, you know, put you back in '96 when this game came, '98 when this game came out. This was the first 3D Zelda game, and they somehow just perfected it. Like, and it hasn't been topped since. Like, they were on something when they made this game. Like, they were on. They discovered stuff. Like, they invented stuff in this game that's used throughout the whole entire industry, as the video game industry as a whole. Z-targeting. I mean, that's just a simple example. It's so simple yet effective. Yep. Combat leg. The storytelling leg. Exploration leg. I will say this, as time has gone on, no pun intended, this is the one small flaw in the game. I mean, back then, '96, '98, you didn't think anything of it. I mean, it's an open world game to an extent. There is still a path you need to follow. It's a very linear game still. But with the big world and, you know, this first time a lot of people explored just an open space. Yeah, there wasn't a lot in it, but you gotta bear in mind when the game came out, like, just the fact that you could even run in the open space was a novelty on its own. And to this day, I think it still holds up because, I mean, it's kind of the same argument making for Breath of the Wild. Yeah, there's open spaces, but for an adventure game, you should expect something like that. Like, you think someone who goes on an actual adventure, there's not going to be times of, you know, sit down time, or, you know, just taking a breather and soaking in your environment. Like, you know, to an extent, I think that was what they designed it for. The open space was there for you to travel in, to enjoy the sights and, you know, chill for a moment from all the action. There's a break. You know, it doesn't have to be action all the time, especially again, when you're going on a journey. You shouldn't expect action all the time. So 3 legs, and then the 4th leg was dungeons. I already went on that. Dungeons, you know, puzzle solving. Some of the physics in Breath of the Wild were made in this game. With fire, burning stuff, you know, just something simple like that. You know. And for an Nintendo 64 game, this is a meaty, long game. So, Breath of the Wild is an amazing game. It's top 5. But Ocarina of Time, in my opinion, is still the crowning achievement in making a perfect video game. And the one argument I had against it with all space, I defended. So, I mean, again, I'm not alone. Look at Metacritic. It's the only game in 99. It stands by itself. I'm not the only one who thinks Ocarina of Time is still the best video game ever made. And I don't know if it will be topped. So, that's my top 10. And that's my top 156 games I think in this list. I will continue to add to the list as I play new games, finish new games, or at least give some games enough time to have an opinion on. I'm currently working on Banjo-Kazooie, and I plan on playing Earthbound at some point. I would like to eventually play all the Pokemon games so I can have a better understanding of where maybe Red, Blue, and Yellow hold against like Johto or something like that. But yeah, again, this is my personal list. You know, there's games on here that I've not played that you probably think should be on here. I've not played them yet. So just bear that in mind when you look at the list. Maybe some of you thought GTA 5 should be on this list. I've not played the game enough to give it an opinion. So I've not played. I think I played Witcher 3 for like 20 minutes. I had a hard time getting into it. Maybe if I actually got into it, maybe I think it's up here in the top 10. You know, trying to think of other games. You know, all those Mega Man games. There's no Sonic game on here. So, yeah, honestly, if you see any missions on here, I just not played the game enough, or not played it at all. So thank you for watching. Thanks for coming on this journey with me and on my 156 games. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and stay square.